Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dart Zone Pro Mark 2.1. This blaster came out this year in 2022 and is the sequel to the original Dart Zone Pro Mark II, a blaster that came out in December of 2020. And it's also a blaster that I reviewed on the channel a while back. It's one of my all-time favorite blasters. Very interesting to see if the Mark 2.1 holds up to the standards set by the Mark II. So with that all the way, let's get started. Right, so as usual, let's get started by talking about the box. The back of the box has absolutely nothing on it. The only thing that has any print on it, besides the front, is the top edge, which just contains your copyright and cautions. Nothing too special. So all the information we're going to need for this entire review is, of course, on the front. Starting with the content list. The contents of this box includes 1 Pro Series Mark 2.1 blaster, 18 short Pro darts, this is dart, it's supposed to be darts, 3 short Pro dart clip, supposed to be clips, 1 muzzle brake, 1 clip holster, 1 blaster holster set, and 1 Pro mask. The only other information on this box is the recommended age, which is 14 plus, similar to the original Mark II, which was also 14 plus. So we can kind of get a good idea of what kind of power this blaster has. So with that out of the way, let's get this thing out of the box. Oh my goodness. There's a box inside of this box. It has a carry handle. Now normally I cut all the unboxing part out, but dang, look at that. Look at that. This is its box it comes in. It's a huge step up from the original. It's kind of cool. This is the front of the box. You have the blaster here, and I guess it's the tournament edition. I don't know if that means anything. Has a carry handle. There's the Dart Zone Pro logo on the side. Cautions and warnings all over the top part of it. Let's flip over to the back. Well, this shows all the little contents. Got your magazines and their holsters. You got the blaster holster. You got the mask, the darts, the blaster itself. Some other warnings here and some down here. A QR code for some reason. It probably means something. That's really cool. I wasn't expecting to have a box within a box. Like, I thought that box was going to be just its own packaging, but it's not. It's kind of cool. So let's open this thing. So have 2 little tabs on either side. Okay. No tape or anything because it's already in another box. Oh my goodness. So this is very nice packaging we have here. Start off with our paperwork here. We have 2 sets of instructions, one in French and the other in English. We also have our dart brochure. Let's start off with some of the smaller things. We have here our spare O-rings, our darts. They actually come in a little packet like this rather than just being in the box in one of these little vacuum molded things. But here we have our darts. I'll probably use a few of these, just take a review. Hopefully I can find them all. They're pretty brightly colored, so it shouldn't be too hard. Pro mask. Here's the Pro mask. Plastic band. Has a plastic film on it. Probably protect from screen scratch. This rubber thing. I just need to push that back in. It's there's a rubber thing on here. Elastic band. Seems to be pretty cool. Holsters. We got our holster. This, by the way, was a rubber band that is strapped around your holster. I just took it off during the first take of the review. So here we have our holster. There's the muzzle brake holster and the blaster holster. And like the original Mark II, you can't have the muzzle brake on when putting the blaster in its holster. You have to have it in a separate little holster. But it has a separate holster rather than the muzzle brake being have its on. Rather than the muzzle brake having a clip on the side. So it is adjustable at different angles. And this is a leg holster. So this strap wraps around your thigh, and this one loops into a belt. We have our magazine holster. Now, these are actual proper magazines. They're not clips, like the original Mark II. These actually come out of the blaster, unlike the Mark II, the original Mark II. These are proper magazines. And we do get 3 of them, because one is currently in the blaster. I think they just go in like so, yeah. Right? They just go in like that, yeah. Seem to hold them in pretty well. Come out pretty easily. And now onto the actual blaster and muzzle brake. Alright, so here we have the Dart Zone Pro Mark II. These are rubberized grips on it. And start off with the controls. Starting off with the safety selector. It's pretty standard on these high-powered blasters. If the S is pushed all the way in, it means it's safe and the trigger can't be pulled. If the F is pushed all the way, that means fire and trigger can be pulled. This button on the side is actually our magazine release. Just push that, magazine comes out. Even when not loaded, still enough weight and it's loose enough just to come out. Fits in perfectly. And I also will mention that the slide is fully forward and the magazine comes right out. Kind of cool. Now the magazine release is not ambidextrous. Unfortunately, it is not ambidextrous. It is just only for right-handed people, so it's a little unfortunate. The muzzle brake is a pretty standard muzzle brake. Should be compatible with other Dart Zone products. So let's start off, see how the prime is. Prime is quite nice and smooth. I have a priming indicator and our sights. That's our sight picture. Let's see how the trigger pull is. There's no air restrictor on that. Trigger is very nice. Oh, before I completely forget, we can load the thing. As usual for the half-length blasters, we will be using Adventure Force and Dart Zone Sure Shot darts. The Dart Zone darts and Adventure Force darts. They're not the Sure Shot darts, those are other Dart Zone ones. It's going to go in pretty easily. Just keep loading more. It is, by the way, a 6-round capacity, but we'll see if they can hold 7. Okay, it's a 6-round capacity, but the gap there is, so I guess you can take the magazine out. This one I think I stuffed too many in. Yeah, I put too many into this one. It can hold 7, but the magazines are meant for 6, because you can do this without having to deprime the blaster or squish your darts. Load the new ones in. These you can buy online. I just never bothered to buy any. So we're going to be using 6 of these today for the accuracy and range and speed tests. We're going to see if I can collect them all. Hopefully. These are one of the more expensive darts too. The foam is a lot lighter than the other darts. They have these little ridges on them for apparently a better air seal. We'll see if it performs any better with its own darts. But I completely forgot the holster. Muzzle brake goes in there, and blaster goes in there. Blaster does come out a little easily. Muzzle brake too, but it takes a lot of force to shake them out, so shouldn't worry too much. Alright, now let's move on to the accuracy test. Alright, so here we are at the accuracy test. We're going to start off with Dart Zone darts. Safety's off. See if we can hit anything. Got one. Hit the one next to it. Yeah, missed. Oh, and it was empty. Pretty accurate, I would say, all things considered. Hit, I think, 4 out of 6 shots, except one of those shots I didn't hit the target I wanted. Anyway, let's move on to the next dart. Going to be doing Adventure Force now. Ooh, got one. Got it, technically. It was windy, so I taped it. Wind has kind of stopped, though. Yeah, it's empty. Alright, time to move on to the last dart. A little worried about this one. Gonna be using these. The Pro darts, and they are expensive. I'll see how much they actually cost, but these things are kind of hard to get to. I think they might be available on Amazon, though. I'll check later. But here we go. Hit all your targets. Oh, landed right there. Oh, landed right there. Landed right there. Landed right there. I'm keeping track of all the darts. We already got 4. Right there. One more. Oh, that was scary. It is accurate, very accurate. I just kept missing those because I was too worried about where the darts are landing. But we hit them. 4 out of 6 shots. Anyway, I'm gonna collect my Pro darts and the other darts and move on to the range test. Alright, here we are at the range test. For context, the chicken is 25 feet. The frog is 40. And the back wall is 50 feet from where I'm standing. I know the last few blasters I reviewed, we hit the 50-foot mark. Let's just see how the Mark 2.1 fares. Starting off with Dart Zone. Aim. Not surprised. Keep hitting the camera. Oh, hit the wall and hit the camera. Alright, they're gonna hit the 50-foot mark regardless. Next up, Adventure Force. This is more or less a better test to see how straight they shoot. And they seem to be shooting pretty straight. Ooh, that went up. Alright, we have our Pro darts here. And fire. Ooh! Jeez Louise. Oh, hit the wall. Alright, let's go see where those landed. Also, I noticed the slide right here, specifically right here on the back, is actually rubberized. Alright, let's go check out where the darts landed. Alright, here we have our darts. They all went 50 feet. Very straight, mind you. I was not angling up, and they were hitting the wall. We have a couple in the bushes. And they all shot pretty straight. Except for a couple, like that one hit the wall, and that one also hit the wall. But of course, that was because I wasn't really aiming too well. I was aiming with one hand, so that lowers stability by a lot. I do think I want to make a video in the future comparing the original Mark II to the Mark 2.1, just to see just to see how the Mark 2.1 improved. But yeah. Anyway, on to the speed test. Alright, so here we are at the speed test. We have our chronograph set up. I decided to put it outside because, according to my mom, it's easier to read the chronograph outside. So it's a nice day today. It's not too hot. Gonna be starting out with dart zone. We have a box here to catch the darts. 138, 133, 161, and we're leaving dents in the box. 151, 173, and 135. Next, we have Adventure Force. 138, 140, 135, 140, 88, I think it hit something, 126. Last but not least, the darts he came with, the Pro darts. 166, 158, 159, 164, 169. That one stuck. 164. Alright. Put all the speed data up here. It appears the Pro darts are actually superior. 160. Consistently going 160. This thing's probably one of my more powerful blasters I own. Let's move on to my final thoughts. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the Dart Zone Pro Mark 2.1? Before we do that, as usual, we need to go over where I bought it, how much I spent. This blaster is an Amazon exclusive, so you can only purchase it on Amazon, which is where I bought it. And it costs $99.99 USD. So it's a $100 blaster, which makes this the current record holder for most expensive blaster that I own, as well as the most expensive blaster that I ever reviewed on the channel. The original record holder, the longest time, was the Dart Zone Pro Mark II, this blaster's predecessor. Might as well go over dart cost. On Amazon, you can buy a 200 pack of these for $30, which may not seem like a lot because you have 200 of those out of it, but keep in mind 15 cents a dart. Most dart refill packs usually are 5 cents a piece, not 15. I mean, they're good darts, I'll give them that. They're very nice, everything, but there's something to keep in mind. Maybe I'll buy a pack. They're not the most expensive dart on the market though, but they're one of the more expensive ones. Not many other neutral thoughts about the blaster currently, so let's move on to the pros and cons. Alright, so on to cons. Starting off with something that doesn't have anything to do with the blaster. The mask it comes with, the Pro mask. I don't know if it's just me, but it's a little uncomfortable. I don't know if I have to stretch out the elastic or adjust it better, but it is a little uncomfortable. Especially because you have this plastic post here on both sides jabbing your forehead with this kind of soft rubber here. The rubber does come off, but I don't think it's supposed to. Yeah, just something to keep in mind. Not the most comfortable thing, but might be user error. The holster. The holster is fine, but just shaking a little drops the blaster out. Of course, I'm assuming when using this blaster, you're not going to be rolling around or upside down, so you don't really have to worry about it too much, which I guess is fine. But the main issue is the same issue I had with the original Mark II. You can't have your muzzle brake and attach your blaster and put it in the holster. It can't be placed in the holster. Yeah, they can be placed, but it's not properly seated. They do, however, have a new holster for the muzzle brake. So that removes that issue, slight issue with the original muzzle brake having a clip that you clip on, so you can kind of easily, I guess, quickly attach your muzzle brake. So the muzzle brake doesn't add anything or take away from the blaster. The only thing it does is probably state ordinance or town ordinance where your blaster has to have a certain number of orange for the tip to be legal. So that's the reason why it's probably there. Now, orange on the tip is quite small amount. So onto the blaster itself. The first major con, not really major, it's kind of it might be seen as major. It all depends on the person using the blaster. If you have smaller hands, the mag release is very hard to reach. It's just this tiny little button. So pushing that, you have to take the mags out. You have to move your grip from being in a comfortable firing position to this, and you can't really, not a comfortable firing position. And I originally was going to say that it was kind of a bummer that they didn't make it ambidextrous, because left-handed people would probably have a harder time pushing it, but realized, oh, using it left-handed actually is an advantage because you get to use your index finger to push it out. You don't have to change your firing grip, push it out, load the next one in, and continue to fire. Simple. The grip itself, also, people with smaller hands, might be a problem. This is a very large grip. So the other cons just have to do with comparing it to the Mark II, the original Mark II, which I'm not going to do in this video. I'm going to do it in another video, comparing the Mark 2.1 to the Mark II. That'll be a completely different video. So that's pretty much it with the cons with the blaster. So yeah, let's move on to pros. So what are the pros? What you get out of the box, you get a ton of accessories, ton of cool accessories, magazine holster, the goggles, and you get 3 magazines, which is really cool. You not only have one for the blaster, but you have 2 for the holster. The pros of the blaster itself, it's relatively small for the amount of power it has. Also, you can take the magazines out with the blaster slide all the way forward. You don't have to prime it to take the magazine in and out, which is a very cool idea. I really like that about this thing. The prime is very nice on this one. Very smooth. Trigger is also very nice. It's actually a light, very surprisingly light trigger pull for this blaster. Rubberized grips are kind of cool. And also, I did mention this during the, I think, range test. This part here in the back, this little grab point, is also rubberized. The slide has a lot of grip on it, which is so nice. Yeah, it's overall a very nice blaster. A lot of cool accessories, and very powerful, very accurate, very fast shooting blaster. But would I recommend the blaster? To those who are going to be using it outdoors, around older people, take the 14 plus age recommendation on the box seriously. Yeah. Even though it's $100, it does come with quite a few cool accessories and features. Not only does it have a removable magazine through the grip, which is cool. You're getting a very nice, high-quality blaster. It comes with some high-quality accessories. Everything's very high quality. These magazines are very solid. Very solid. And it comes in a very nice box. It's a very nice box. Very high-quality box. I really like the box. It's definitely a step up from the original Mark II's box, but that's for another video. Yeah, and this thing may also go on sale for cheaper. Maybe, who knows? But it is a very cool blaster. Yeah, that's the end of the review. Comment your thoughts about this blaster down below. Comment what else you want to see on this channel. Be sure to check out the original Dart Zone Pro Mark II video. Be sure to check out my other videos on my channel. Both of those will be linked at the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.